you Wrestling Kids, and the millions listening live around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for the Round the Table.
Typing in the things and making sure that we're good and ready to go. Otherwise, welcome everybody, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest podcast this side of the Mississippi, and I know so because I can see it from my house. This is Round Table Wrestling. I am with an distinguished cast, being both esteemed and distinguished. Yes, we make up words here. I am with, going clockwise, like the Chad I am, we got Johnny Boston with his muscular John Cena in the background.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. We got another Chad here. His name is Chad Big Ton Vandermark.
What's up?
That's him saying what's up. We got D'Lo, David Logan.
Hi, Rihanna.
He said hi to Rihanna. Don't be mad at me, ASAP Rocky. I'll give you heat. You don't got bars for me. All right. And we got Keith the Wildman Miller.
What up, everybody? I am the king of making up words.
Yes, he makes up words, and I catch him every now and then. But I do like, you got to keep to the gimmick. And I am your esteemed host and one of the many talking heads on this. I am known as Himothy Chalamet, Himi Hendrix, he who butters the bread, the place that runs the face, Pablo Kino Aquino.
Yeah?
Your talented and compassionate host. We are live and in color, especially me and Logan. And we are here to talk about
already.
This is the Elimination Chamber day of.
Damn.
This is the precursor to the live stream that we're going to be having. So check us out. And also like, comment, subscribe us on YouTube. We're also on Patreon. We're also on Spotify under Round Table Wrestling. And we do our thing. We are coming to you with all the great news, everything that happens in the week. And we love it. Otherwise, how is everybody doing today? Not at all at once, but how is everybody doing today?
I'm hanging in there, man. It's been a trying week, but I'm looking forward to this month. Got some big things coming up.
Good week. Passing our exams and stuff. So yeah, it's a good week.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff.
That's what's
We
up.
got Wolf on board. What's up, Wolf? It's giving bark. PDA going on over here.
Oh, did Johnny's dog pop into the screen? I can't see that.
My extinguished co-host, Sammy.
So extinguished.
Nice.
Alrighty. Speaking
Excellent.
of Sammy, it's gonna be a fun night for some Canadians tonight. Have some Canuck on Canuck battles going on. Otherwise, I got a few things that I wanted to mention, and then we can talk about the meat and potatoes. Speaking of which, I made a version of the Double Down. You remember that sandwich, Double Down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that a KFC sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I bought hash browns, and I work at I do breakfast in a hotel, so I always have eggs and other stuff, and I just made one, and I was like, oh, I definitely don't feel like crap.
Oh, today is linger longer, so I just stuffed my face until noon, and now I have to not eat again until noon tomorrow. So
yeah, my girlfriend's on her way home with
joys of being in the Mormon religion.
What was it called? Linger longer?
It's called linger longer. It's once a month on the last Saturday of the month or the first Saturday of the month, depending on where it falls, you fast for 24 hours from noon till noon.
Okay.
Dude, I could never
Yeah.
fast that long. So now I know when to get Mormons at their weakest.
It's
You-
rough,
you
man.
know me, you know I can't. I'll be lucky if I can fast an hour, let alone 24.
I did my first ever successful one last month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I generally in the middle of the night I get up and eat something. I just get so hungry because you can't drink either. There's no water. There's no.
Hey,
can't drink
like you
neither?
said,
That part.
No,
yeah.
it is a 24-hour. Like
Man, I
you're
couldn't-
surviving on your spirit for 24 hours.
When
man.
I was
I-
very
Well,
very
then I'm
young,
screwed because I ain't got no spirit.
when I was very young, I was homeless quite often.
right.
And since then, I've been compared to basically a camel because I've got ADHD. So a lot of
Okay.
times I'll completely forget to eat. I'll completely
Right.
forget to drink, and I will literally go 3 or 4 days without
I
even
won't go that long, but I go a day
without even
without
leaving
eating
the
sometimes.
spot I'm in. It's like my whole body goes into like a stasis mode where I don't even have to pee.
Man.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah. So now Pablo is regretting asking us how we were doing.
I know, right?
But
Oh no, I wanted to see how we were doing. It was all
Yeah.
right. We got a few things going on, but you know,
Yeah.
it's part of the podcast. We're all people, you know.
Absolutely.
I am shockingly
We're not
doing
just
well.
talking
I
heads,
own a
you know?
former police
Yeah.
truck now.
Ooh. By the way, nobody could tell that Johnny had ADHD.
Yeah, I
No.
had no clue.
No,
I had no
way.
clue either.
No way. I keep
Such
that
a
a very
shocker.
well guarded secret.
Timothy shocker over here. So I'm gonna mention a few things, and we'll do our little oohs and ahs, but not everything is a talking point, but it's just interesting to mention, right? So Ryan Nemeth actually
Oh, boy.
is Nick Nemeth's brother.
Oh my
kayfabe.
god.
No.
Yes.
No.
IRL.
Yes.
But he is also filing a lawsuit officially against Tony Khan and CM Punk.
Oh boy.
For being mean to him.
Pretty
Yep,
much.
for background bullying, and I'm not exactly sure the verbiage of it, but I have a feeling it has to do with backstage politics stuff and all of that, and how he.
From what
like
I
he's
read, he was
ostracized.
claiming that Punk basically kept him down on the card and forced him to not be on certain shows and basically held him from TV time as much.
Pretty
as
much,
Okay.
pretty much Punk archied Ryan Nemeth.
Oh man.
That kind of reminds me of Shawn Michaels trying
With
to kick Shane
PCO.
Douglas down in '97.
Oh yeah, Shane. Look, I always think of PCO with Shawn
Oh,
Michaels.
sure. It's Shawn Michaels thing with PCO too.
Yeah, I always think of PCO. when
I
think of
must not have known about that.
Oh,
he
it was a
basically did
thing
the
where
same
like
thing.
Shawn, they did a
he
tour
can-
of Toronto and
Yeah.
PCO helped sell tickets, and he was promised that he was going to get to go over on Shawn, and supposedly Kevin Nash was like, dude, who cares where we are? This guy sucks. Like, you're the world champ. Don't let him win. And Shawn Michaels went, look, I'm the world champ. Even losing by DQ to this guy is gonna make me look bad. I don't care where we are. And got it switched so that he pinned him.
Well, on top of
Kinda
that's not the part that I find like really. I find that to be like almost normal as far as the.
That's the only part I
backstage
know about. I
politics
didn't
go.
know there was other stuff involved.
But the thing is, Diesel or Kevin Nash, would sit and talk with PCO face to face, and he'd be cool
Right.
with him. Meanwhile,
Mm.
Shawn Michaels would be on the blind side of PCO, mocking him and making fun of
Right,
him,
'cause you
and
can't see.
completely
Yeah.
trash talking because he can't see. Well, Shawn went to Vince, and not only after he, kept the belt and everything, but he went to Vince and said, "Look, I don't like this guy. I want you to freeze him out." So they kept him on contract and refused to put him on shows, and he was making money based on the shows he wrestled. So they froze him
Ooh.
out. Why do you think he left the business for so long?
Right.
They froze him
wild.
out, and they took all that
Interesting.
momentum he had built up, and they shit canned it.
Damn.
Kind of like with Rougeau going over Hogan.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah.
It was a weird situation.
Clean no matter.
Pretty wild thing, to be honest, because backroom politics. I also am not really against what Shawn Michaels was thinking. The fact that, you know, I can't stand how many champions are just getting pinned.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
find that to be such an issue with today's WWE. Look what happened yesterday.
Yeah. I didn't watch yesterday,
I
but I
didn't
know
watch
Lyra
it. I'm
Valkyrie.
not
There's no
caught
they
up
put
yet.
themselves in the corner with that one, Chelsea and Tiffany.
Oh, yeah. So Chelsea lost and
I think it
Oh, it
was
was a
nine.
DQ.
It was nine.
Okay.
Candace, they all interrupted. They broke it all apart. So they couldn't really. That's how
But
they put
during
themselves in
the,
the corner like that. They
yeah,
could have had
during
like a
the
surprise for Chelsea instead of doing that.
if Chelsea and Lyra Valkyria weren't going to win their elimination chamber qualifiers, there's plenty of other women who could have been in those matches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
There's
like
so many,
yeah,
and a lot of them are gone now. It could have been Isla Dawn, could have been one of those that could
Exactly.
have been showing.
but
By
Who
the
else
way,
was
I just
injured?
want to bring up this point. Thanks to Keith Miller, I have actually watched more than one women's match this week.
Yes.
you're
Progression is
welcome.
key.
You're welcome, man.
Oh shit. Oh snap.
It's Women's Revolution 2.0 in Chad's
2025.
house.
Above Geppetto's.
It's
There you
giving modern. One more thing. Oh, so the next thing that I wanted to mention that I seen come up and it was announced, and Mecca is doing Benefit for Bay. So it's benefit, but BEY. And
Okay,
it's
cool.
French Bay.
Awesome.
It's
That's sweet.
marked for March 23rd. So obviously the proceeds will be going to the recovery and the PT that I imagine Chris Bay is going to be doing for the betterment of a year.
Yeah, he's got a long road ahead of him, man.
Make him
But
national.
he's already starting off strong.
Yeah, and we already talked about the fact that he stood up for the first time
Yeah.
and was able to walk on his own and yeah,
That's good shit.
these
Yeah.
interesting these injuries are real, you know, like everybody puts life and limb in the ring, you know, like
Speaking of injury, does anybody know what's going on with JD McDonough? Because I haven't heard anything.
he's
I mean, he's just got to heal.
Definitely
Like
out
his
for months.
injuries, yeah, his injuries aren't anything that's going to take rehab or anything, but it's got to
No.
heal up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he,
he
he's
was out.
straight
He
up the
was.
only thing he's got looking forward to is time off. Like,
And ribs take forever. You know, that area, it takes forever to heal. So he's got cracked freaking ribs and a punctured lung. That's going to take a minute.
Yep.
So, yeah.
multiple
And you
months.
have to make sure you're at 100% before you come back to wrestle because you got to be
Oh.
able to breathe.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, there's nothing worse than broken ribs. There's no body horror worse than broken ribs, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and it's Lord knows it could have been worse, but thank goodness. And yeah, to both of them, quick, speedy recovery because they're both young, they're both very talented, very good workers. You know,
Absolutely.
and Godspeed to them.
Oh yeah.
There was something else that came up actually that was newsworthy that was via, I believe, Lex Luger had done an interview. And I think from the woos, I think you guys might know what I'm referencing, but
Oh yeah.
Total package.
yes. So Lex Luger blamed himself, you know, paraphrasing, blamed himself for the untimely demise of Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah, he takes full responsibility for it.
Saying that it was just because he didn't do it, you know, per se, like he didn't actually kill her, but you know, the lifestyle and things exacerbated and ended up, you know, culminating in her early death. And I'd hate to be in that situation. You know, I've had plenty friends that have gone by the wayside because of drugs and Lord knows I feel bad for anybody who feels like they are responsible for somebody close to them being, you know, transitioning to the other world pretty much.
One of the things that really struck me too was the last thing that he said was at least in the little bit that I saw, was that the kind of person that he was at the time, he wasn't even thinking about she's going to be dead.
Yep.
His biggest concern was how it was going to affect his career.
Yep. I remember that.
Cold.
So,
That's a cool
so
thing.
yeah, and I guess now he's a different person, you know. Which I mean, you get older, you get perspective. But it took literal decades for him to come out and even talk about it.
Right. And, you know, again, as much as I want to condemn him for living that lifestyle and leading her, and maybe not leading, but at least accompanying her down that
Yeah.
path, I also have to kind of commend him for the amount of honesty, the amount of raw courage it takes to be that honest when he could have just kept his mouth shut till he died.
Yeah, could have been
And
Jimmy Snuka.
he wanted to be honest. And
Yeah.
I will respect him at least that much, if not for, you know,
And then
nothing else.
And
Yeah.
then there was the point where on Dark Side, I don't know if anybody saw the Dark Side of the Ring with him, but Mr. Bischoff said at one point that he was furious with Lex because basically he blamed Lex as well, but that he started to realize how what he was hearing from some people saying that he didn't force
Chad?
Liz to take the drugs.
Chad, 1 second.
Yeah.
1 second. David, you gotta turn that audio off. If you could. You're watching something, I'm catching the audio.
Actually.
Whoever it is, I'm not sure who it is, but yeah, I'm sorry, Keith. I mean Chad, you can go ahead if you want to continue.
All right. Yeah. Eric said on Dark Side of the Ring that that a lot of people were blaming Lex Luger
Mhm.
for Elizabeth's death, but Lex kept saying, "Well, yeah, it happened here, but I didn't force her to take the drugs." And then Eric said, then he thought about it, obviously for a long time, decades, I would think, because nobody had talked about it. And he said, now thinking about it, Luger didn't force her to take the drugs; they were just there.
Yeah.
Not like he spoon fed her the drugs or anything. But that
Right.
comment about his career, that rather irritated me as well.
Cold, man.
Yeah, because the thing that should matter the most is somebody's safety, you know, and
Yeah.
like, understandably so. Yes, your livelihood, your job is your livelihood, but at the same time, life, you know, and the sanctity of life should be more important than whether or not you're going to get canned.
Right.
Right.
When
Absolutely.
I heard that 911 call back in the day, the thing that struck me the most is he didn't sound upset.
Distraught.
He
Yeah.
sounded panicked.
Yep.
He sounded
he
panicked. He didn't
panicked that they were going to
sound.
find the drugs in his crib.
Yeah, he didn't sound
Well,
distraught.
yeah,
He
like what
sounded
is going to
worried they
happen?
were gonna-
You
yeah,
know,
exactly. What
he
happened?
didn't sound.
Mhm.
Yeah, he didn't sound upset like someone who I love
Yeah.
is dying in front of me. He sounded like, "Oh my Lord, what am I going to
Yeah.
do?"
Yep.
You know, that's what it sounded like to me, and it was
Agreed.
yeah,
I agree
makes sense now.
100%.
Mhm. I hope that he has some, you know, reckoning. I hope that he can internalize and
Find some closure with it.
Yeah,
finds
He
exactly
basically should have a come to Jesus moment.
he already had that. That's
Yeah.
part of what
I
prompted
feel
him
like
to
he
do this.
must.
Yeah. Maybe he
must
needs to have
have that.
another one.
Maybe try Buddha this time.
Yeah, I guess.
No, that was something else that I thought was interesting that I'll mention a few things that are really just passerby things, and then we can start discussing things that seem kind of cool. Like
All right.
stuff that I just stumbled upon. One, AJ Lee says Vegeta is her boo.
Aw.
Has a cardboard cutout of him, which makes sense considering that she is married to the Vegeta
See.
of WWE. So it's CM Punk. CM Punk is, he reminds me of anybody of a Vegeta, you know.
Yeah.
So good Lord. Well, hey, I love that anime is being included in wrestling. Why not, right?
I
Yeah.
know, right? We include
Yeah.
everything else.
We have so many, yeah, exactly. We have so many anime related things happening in wrestling anyway. So
Are you guys familiar with John Urnit, Mr. 450?
No.
He was an indie wrestler from Chicago. And he
Oh,
got,
yeah, I know 450. He worked for me.
yeah, I
That's
was
the
going to
same
say, I
dude?
thought you knew him. For the longest, he worked for WWE and he showed up in a Vegeta costume because that was his gear for a long time,
Wolf?
dressed like Vegeta. And it exploded on the internet, but this was like years ago, so I don't think anyone remembers it now. But
he went by Mecha Wolf, right? At one point.
he may have. That might be the same guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
450.
did. He had a
used to work
scouter and all of that.
What's that?
He had a scouter and everything, and he had the like the vest that
Yeah,
Vegeta
yeah,
would
he
wear.
had the little, yeah. He had
that was
the
him.
whole gear,
I
dude.
know
Yeah,
who
he,
you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
he worked in
Remember the name.
Wisconsin for a minute.
yeah. He used to work all over the Midwest. He had a belt in Indiana for a while too.
He's Puerto Rican, so
Yes,
he's one
yes, he is Puerto
so,
Rican. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I must have misunderstood what you said, Keith.
Oh, you're good,
Yeah,
man.
I
I was
know
pretty sure you knew him.
450. Yeah, he worked for me a few times.
Yeah.
I love that
Shout out
dude.
to Mecha Wolf.
I was gonna say he always seemed like a really good dude. So just keep him away from
love
AJ
that
Lee,
dude.
I guess, because
That
Punk might be in trouble.
is funny. Ricky Saints officially relinquished the Defy Championship. Which is interesting because Ricky Saints now, as he goes by, he took it upon himself to make the announcement. So, how many times does that happen where somebody goes to WWE and then like physically says, "Hey, it's up for grabs now," and pretty
Yeah,
much
I'm not allowed to defend my belt anymore.
Yeah.
Sounds
It's usually the
like-
promotion making the announcement, not the wrestler. So that's
exactly. That's why I thought it was pretty cool that he did it. You know, he's like ushering a new era for him, I suppose. And obviously, he was very big on the Indies and a bunch of other different places, and I was surprised he didn't win a few more championships. But hey, Ricky
That's
Saints.
Tony for
I'm
you.
surprised
I mean, he
AEW
jumped
didn't
from
make three more belts for him.
Contracts to contracts. So
Yeah, he's a contract hoe.
he is a contract hoe.
Okay. I want to mention as well that Tiffy and Trish, a la D'Lo's background, is going viral for being the hot mom daughter looking duo. Like the hot
Oh, the
auntie
first time I saw
Like,
that
come
picture
on.
on Facebook,
Like,
I damn near passed out.
Lord, dude.
It's
I'm
funny.
getting the
Oh
vapors.
my god.
Trish yesterday, she had a promo, advertising the tag match that they're gonna have later tonight. And she pointed at somebody and she was like, "Your dad probably had a poster of me up." And they looked over and he was like,
Yeah, big
He
one.
was like,
Yeah.
"Yep." I'll tell you for free that I learned how to delete my history after Trish Stratus was on Playboy.
Oh
Overheard my father and being like, "This Trish Stratus girl looks pretty good."
You ain't seen
That's
nothing
good shit,
yet.
dude.
That was back in the day when it was like the pictures would load so slowly.
Oh
It'd
man,
be like half, and it'd be like, I'm good.
be back in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Good on you, Trish, for keeping looking just as good as you did back then. I almost think she might even look better right now.
right. Argument.
Came into her own, Lord knows. And Tiffy obviously looking real good to where
He
Logan
definitely
Paul
got the iOS
is,
up.
I ain't gonna lie. When I was
Got it
younger,
there.
I had a Trish Stratus poster on one wall and a Lita poster on the other.
Right.
Whoa.
joke. Johnny stepped on my joke like my dreams.
Oh, well, good. That's what I do.
And he openly admits it.
Yeah.
Hey, try and add a little honesty
Trish,
in there, and Pablo kicks me in the face.
I don't know if we had mentioned this already, but there was apparently some talk about Logan Paul flirting
Yeah,
with Tiffany.
Dying?
Oh no, he didn't die.
dude, that's the most set up thing in the history of life, But
Maybe that leads to Kaiser getting one over on him and
I
Actually,
thought
Yeah,
maybe
big,
I thought maybe he would go to Egypt and like they would shoot him down or something.
no, they don't. They won't allow him in Egypt. Remember?
That's the point. He got banned from the country. He went anyway, and they shot him down.
No.
Yeah, no.
Or
Speaking
he
of not
freed
being
just go
allowed
to
in
jail.
other
the cargo
countries.
compartment
Yeah.
or something, like anything. Just give me a tragedy with Logan Paul's name on it, and I'll be happy.
Oh man! All right.
We don't
Anyway,
wish any bad on
And-
anybody.
yeah,
but,
the
No,
man
no,
has a
no.
young
No,
child,
no, no,
guys. Come on.
I would
He's a
like I
never
terrible
said,
person, but
I
got a
would
young
never
child.
wish anything bad on anyone, just the airplane carrying him.
Exactly. You could add Charlotte on that plane too.
that's tone deaf considering
Whoa!
how many plane crashes have happened this year.
Whoa!
Yeah.
All right.
But I will say for free that we are going to keep from doing anything like that again. But
Yeah.
speaking of not being allowed in different countries, our two-time reigning defending commander-in-chief kicked out Zelensky from the White House in a heated exchange where
yeah, I
JD
heard about
Vance was
that.
JD Vance was being an absolute monster
Bockwomble.
of a gaslighter. And are we looking at a 2v1 handicap match?
Yeah, you
You
saw
know
that
what?
at the WrestleMania.
With Trump
So
being
I'm wondering,
Hulk
we've
Hogan,
already
that's
had a
incredibly
Trump at WrestleMania.
unfair.
You know, is
That's
Bobby Lashley going to
lopsided.
take the helm and fight for America against
Who's going to take Zelensky's side, Vince?
I know, right?
Oh man.
Lomachenko?
And you trying to make it a tag match then?
Hulk
Hey,
Hogan.
I was about to
Oh,
say,
I know.
They're trying to
I know who
Hogan.
takes.
Hogan's image.
Let's bring
so they're gonna have him
Usyk.
tag with Zelensky.
Usyk,
I know who
both
takes
Klitschko's
Zelensky
and
side, bring
Lomachenko
back-
against half of America.
Bring back. I know who takes Zelensky's side. Bring back Muhammad Hassan.
Hey now.
He's Italian. Funny enough,
He is
Yeah.
Italian. Yeah.
guy
I
who
know,
played
that wasn't
an
the point. The point
Iraqi.
was guys like him and Sarge were against America, so just bring him
Well, look
back.
I mean, Chief Jay Strongbow was Italian.
He was.
Ain't that funny?
He does.
Deuce was Samoan.
I believe weren't the Youngbloods Italian as well?
Yeah,
I
Their
Just like
last name
Jinder,
was
they
Romero,
passed-
so
they passed off Jinder as being Indian and from India, and he's actually Canadian.
yeah,
Well,
but
he's
he's Indian
Canadian,
now.
but he's still Indian. But yeah, I
Yeah.
get what you mean about that.
Motherfuckers
Yeah.
in here bagging out the ginger slur with a fucking freckled Irishman. You prick. Thanks,
Well.
South Park.
Shout out to the Youngbloods, not the Greenwich Village rock band, but the actual
the actual
wrestling.
Youngbloods.
Yeah.
Mark and Jay and Chris.
But what about the
Right,
Main
young
Street
blood.
Posse? How you gonna forget about them?
Yeah. Speaking of nothing in particular, because segues. Undertaker via Busted Open says that he would not have a problem with Cena beating Flair's record.
Right on.
Which
Wait, I read like last week in a couple different places. He said that damn, I just lost my train of thought. He said that John had made his choice about going to Hollywood, and he doesn't think Cena should break Flair's record.
I think he might have recanted because this was something that came up recently. Maybe he had a change of heart.
It's
Maybe
funny because I
maybe.
can understand both sides of that.
But if we're being honest, though, if the person that personifies WWE the most between the two, I would imagine it would be Cena. You know, because Ric Flair, he was synonymous.
All over. Yeah.
Yeah.
all
Ric
over.
Flair got
WCW,
most of those
NWA,
championships in the
like-
NWA.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you could say, you know, he was obviously a trailblazer. But if
Speaking
you go
of-
with the people that represent WWE and WWE's product, I'd almost imagine that if it wasn't Randy Orton that would get the title and the record, that it probably should be John Cena. And I was
Speaking of,
vehemently against anybody beating Flair. But if somebody would do it,
As much as you guys know, I want to chime in on this topic. Timing
Hmm.
of today kind of sucks. I gotta bounce. My
All right.
mechanic just hit me up. But as usual, guys, happy hunting. Matt
Right.
Love.
Right on, brother.
Take
All
over
right.
Bostonia.
So
so two things
I would
that
like
kinda
to
confuse
say
me.
my weekly reminder to everyone that John Cena is not going to win a match in this whole run.
I
Nah,
was feeling the same way as well. I think he should go out on his back paws. That's a wild statement, but
Crazy. I'm glad you called yourself, brother.
it's literally, it's the trope where you want people to go over, you want to leave the company better than what you had it,
Yeah.
and like it does nothing for Cena to win against say a Drew McIntyre, a
Right.
CM, a Seth
Yeah.
Rollins. And I think that's the reason why we're doing the Elimination Chamber to begin with, because you want John Cena to have all of those, eye to eyes with Punk.
Yeah.
First time since the pipe bomb, eye to eye with Drew, eye to eye with
Seth?
Paul.
Yeah.
Apparently there's rumors that will be the WrestleMania, and which I really don't want to see Logan Paul against Cena.
Yeah, I don't want to
That's
see him.
like
I don't want
a
to
whole
see him
opposite
either.
of no.
But I
think
agree 100% with Keith, where I don't feel like he should. Maybe like after WrestleMania, when he has the rumored Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view that might be happening in Boston. Shout out to the Bostonian who's left. But there's a time and a place, but John Cena has not won a TV match in years.
Nope.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, John Cena's farewell speech being, "Man, I gave it my all, and this new crop of stars that we're leaving here are killers."
Yeah.
Is the right way to do it. That's what I
Also,
think.
it's a full circle moment, because remember when he and Roman had that explosive back and forth where John Cena says, "I'm back here because you can't do your job."
Yeah, 2007.
Right, and now
exactly.
he
And now look at it. There are so many number one guys, like CM Punk got himself on that main event. Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, even Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker. There's Gunther.
All right.
Not even counting the people that were champions, like Gunther, Damian Priest, even Cody Rhodes, Jacob
AJ.
good hands now. And I think, it makes sense for John Cena to be like, okay, I'm going to usher forward by, losing the same way Undertaker chose to lose to Roman Reigns.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
Absolutely.
When Pablo's done, I have two things I would like to bring up.
But they both happen to have to do with John Cena, if that's okay.
Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Yeah,
Chad.
what's up, brother?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Number one,
Hmm?
does anybody have a problem with commentary referring to John Cena as the GOAT? And if so, why?
It's just promotion. I'm fine with it. You always say that your current guy is the GOAT. That's how you do it. So, I'm fine with it.
It's pushing the narrative. I think it'll be even better when he loses, because if the GOAT's the one that loses to the new crop, then it shows that, hey, like, this is a legitimate WWE roster.
Yeah.
But if you look at accolades, the fact that the guy hasn't needed to touch a mid-card title unless he's wanted to. The guy's literally been on top of. He's done everything but win Money in the Bank, I think. Like,
no, he won that too.
He won that too.
Yeah,
he did.
2012 or 2013.
Yeah, so he's done everything, man.
Yeah, he's done everything. He's won Rumbles. He's won the main event at
Except
WrestleMania.
King of the Ring. That's the only thing he ain't win. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he ain't get.
No King of the Ring for John Cena.
No King of the Ring.
He was too big. He was too big for King of the Ring, but when they brought it back, right?
Yeah.
Right. Nah,
on.
Well, first he wasn't big enough, and then he was too big.
Yeah.
He didn't won, but he was young.
I mean,
what did he cash in on?
I think he failed because it was CM Punk Raw 1000, and I think Big Show messed it up. It was that match. I remember it vividly because I got pissed off.
John Cena lost. No, Baron Corbin messed it up.
No, John Cena in 2012, he won in the Money in the Bank, and he told Punk, "I'm cashing in on Raw 1000." And when that match happened, Big Show came in and cost the whole match. I remember that vividly.
Corbin messed up somebody else's.
Cena messed up Corbin, his opportunity when he had it in 2017. That's when.
Okay, all right, my fault.
Yeah, you good. Yeah, I
'Cause I
remember.
think he was trying to cash in on Jinder, right, or something like
Yeah,
that.
he
Or
tried
Yeah,
to
yeah,
cash in on
yeah, yeah.
Bender.
You right. You
Never
right.
happened.
My
All
bad.
right. Well, what was the other thing you wanted to say, Chad?
Yeah.
It had to do with John Cena, but I can't remember.
Well, when you remember, just let me know.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll see now.
Yeah, no problem. Also, I wanted to mention something that I heard from my coworker, because me and my coworker, when we do overnights, we always talk wrestling, and like the entire day or the entire night last night, which was a long freaking night, we were
Yeah.
talking about stuff. And he showed me the video of Christopher Daniels getting caught obviously blading.
Yeah.
Oh well, you know.
Yeah,
Oh.
I see that lady. I was like,
Them
damn.
panning, and immediately like you just seeing the blood go. I was like, there's no place for that anymore.
No, there
Yeah.
isn't.
Yeah, they really don't do it anymore anyway.
Yeah,
So
that's the reason, because it looked so bad.
I mean,
yeah.
the
So
last time
bad
I heard
considering
about
that you
this,
could see him do it and then immediately just like shoot out. It was like,
Yeah.
the last time I heard about this, the old man bladed on live TV after he told everybody in the company no more blading. He bladed on live TV and it looked like crap.
Well, that's
Mhm.
probably why he told everybody no more blading, because he wanted to do the last one.
Probably.
you know, leave
I'll
it.
remember the second thing now.
What's
What's
up?
up?
Last night I read that and I shared with some people that after Mania, Netflix is gonna lease out WWE's time and they're going back to USA.
Dude,
What?
ever since the first week, people
Yeah.
have been saying that. It
Yeah.
has not been officially reported by anyone.
Yeah, I haven't seen it officially reported, but I
It's
know that
just
Netflix isn't
people.
happy because the numbers are garbage.
Well, how do you know that though? Did you talk to someone from Netflix? Because no
What?
one from Netflix has said that. That's like Sportskeeda news, dude. It's just people
All right.
giving
Also,
opinions.
when it comes to ratings and all of that, quite obviously, if you take it from cable to a streaming service that you have to pay for, the ratings are going to go down. That's just natural. As
Yeah.
far whether it's bad in Netflix standards, I suppose. You know, but
Right,
if you're
right.
looking at, it's kind of like, oh, the pay-per-view didn't do as well as the weekly. Well, the weekly is available. I could watch it at the gym.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's why I even know SmackDown, like, because I watch it at the gym because I don't pay for cable. But there's a lot of people in this world that do have cable. And there's a lot of people that, but there's not that as many people that have Netflix.
No, there's not. I mean,
So
I got rid of cable and now I pay for streaming, but you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
It
but
hasn't
so-
it hasn't been
to be honest,
reported
I wouldn't
by
be against them.
Kill yourself.
I wouldn't be against them trying to do both. Maybe, I don't know, but like having
honestly, I believe
SmackDown is
it.
3 hours on CW. What is it?
Yeah, 3
Well,
hours. 3 hours
yeah.
on USA. CW is NXT.
Okay, yeah, 3 hours on USA. It's hard. They gotta get rid of that hour.
Yeah.
And then
Too much. I hate that.
So I just looked it up real quick, and Raw has been in the top 10 of all Netflix shows every single week that it's aired.
really?
So,
Well,
yep.
it'll always be pretty like highly
Yeah.
ranked. I suppose,
Yeah,
if
but I
you're-
mean,
if
for
you're-
being worldwide and the numbers keep going down, that doesn't make sense.
But there's
to me.
still millions of people watching it. That's the thing. There's still worldwide, there's still millions of people watching it. And they still have to bring over the other shows when the contracts expire next year and whatever.
it
There's
reminds
still
me-
a lot to go. They're not just going to pull the plug on it right now. I'm
No.
telling you that right now. That's
No,
just
it's too
people
early.
on the
It's too early,
internet
you're right.
saying dumb crap. Yeah, it's just people on the internet saying dumb crap like people on the internet
It
do.
reminds me of George Orwell and Citizen Kane, where he was like, the guy was talking about, yeah, you lost $1 million, your company, and it was like, yeah, and next year I'll lose $1 million more. At this rate, I'll have to close
Right.
in 60
That's
years.
that's like when Dixie owned TNA.
In 60
What
years,
a
right.
If you guys haven't seen
Right.
Citizen Kane, what a flex. George Orwell, he was such a dynamo in that movie. It also it holds up well considering.
Yeah, this rate, I'll have to
He
close
said
in
it with
60
a smug
years.
face too.
So awesome, dude. So awesome.
All right, I want to do
Wait, wasn't it
D'Lo.
Orson Welles? George Orwell was a writer, brother.
Orson Welles. I'm sorry.
Orson Welles, yeah. George Orwell was the guy who wrote 1984.
True that. Yes.
Gotcha.
meant-
I got you, man. An Animal Farm.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Remember that one.
But I wanted to ask D'Lo because D'Lo, you were at Vengeance Day.
Yes.
How was that experience? Can you tell us about it? How was the vibe? How was
It was good. It was fun. The vibe was electric. It was electric from the get go. Channing on the NXT. When Sandy came out, it was lit. We came out heavy. We was lit for Trick. Oh my God, we lit for Over. Oh, we was lit for it all. And then we was, and you know, we had some creative chants. I think you might have heard that was racist. Because it was racist.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the ref
how
too,
hot is
like,
Fallon
ref, you
Henley?
stupid. And the ref too. We look at the ref like, ref, you stupid. You know what they
Yeah, I heard the ref,
They're
you
like,
stupid
ref, you
chant.
stupid.
That was awesome.
Like, come on.
Oh,
I heard about
Fallon-
that, but I didn't
Fallon
see it.
Henley, you were saying?
I was just gonna ask how hot Fallon Henley is in person.
Oh yeah,
dude.
she fine as hell, man. She
Oh
fine.
man,
Both been fine.
dude.
She ain't Tatum Paxley, but she's
I mean, she's
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah, she fine. That's what I said.
Yeah.
She's not even Mickey James. She's not this generation Mickey James to me, but yeah, but
Yeah.
on the real, Dathan Frazier is faster. He's as fast. He's faster in real because he was zooming. That's what
Man.
I noticed in that one. And
they've won me
Stephanie's
over
move.
ever since Keith was talking about Frexium and I started actually following them more. Yeah, they deserve to be
I like
facing the
that.
Hardys.
Yeah, I like
And they're facing the Hardys coming up soon. But I wanted to mention also D'Lo, how did y'all feel about the Shield-like faction randomly attacking after two different matches?
We was surprised. He was like, "What the heck is this? What is going on?" And then the lights went out when Oba came out for when Oba's moment happened, and and they got Oba. I was like, "How the heck they gonna take Big Fella down?" And then they threw him up in the hand. They had two more. Boom! I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, that move looked wild on TV.
Oh,
Man, I can't
crazy.
imagine
All
what
right.
it's like in person.
I got
Oh,
an
what the
NXT
heck?
question.
Yeah,
What's
they
up?
came out of nowhere. What's up?
What's up, brother?
I heard about Vengeance Day. I haven't seen it yet. But what
Yeah.
is this? What my son actually told me about Roadblock. It's supposed to be an NXT versus TNA thing.
Yeah.
There is a lot of
TNA
NXT and
titles.
TNA stuff going on at Roadblock. Yeah,
It's a mixture.
Like
Yeah.
title for title matches and whatnot.
yeah,
don't
yeah.
actually
There's some
think
stuff going on.
I don't think it's a title for title anymore. Just
Yeah,
the
it's
way
just an NXT title. It's just with NXT.
it's just an NXT title match because it makes sense because I doubt because we all know that Moose is not winning.
Nah,
Okay. It's just the appetite.
He got his win Thursday, which ugliest spear in the game.
Yo, he
his
can
spear
do
is
it.
so bad, dude.
I
Let
found
me
a
just
way to
lay
watch
you down.
TNA.
Like that's
I found a way to watch TNA again, but the problem is the channel that I watch it on is like a few weeks behind.
oh, that sucks.
Is
So
it on
is
is it on Roku?
If no, it's on y'all know what Nesson is out of Boston?
Oh yeah,
I know that
yeah.
channel. Yeah, I know that channel.
Yeah, that's the channel.
Sports
That's the
Network.
channel I find it on.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, the only title for title match so far is Julia and Stephanie Vicaire.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
That
only 3
one-
matches announced. They've got some time though.
that one needed to happen. That
Yeah.
title
Yeah.
because they're really between those two. There only needs to be one.
And I actually found if I actually got to have the time, which I do because I really don't do anything. I found the match. I found old NXT episodes going back to October on the CW app. It took me some time, but I found them.
Oh,
so I might go
yeah.
back.
The CW has at the very least the since they crossed over, like all those matches.
Yeah,
all those shows.
Yeah, I can't find the stuff before that, but don't nobody know where it is.
It's probably on Peacock unless they dumped it.
No, they dumped
No,
it like 6 months ago.
Oh well, then it's probably not out right now. But
Yeah.
But yeah, Stephanie, I think that Stephanie and Julia is odd only because the North American title's involved. Like that belt is only like a year old and there's only been 3 champs.
Yeah.
Not even
I don't-
a year old.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I don't understand like what happened. Like, so what happens if there's a dual champ? Like you have both belts. Generally, the smaller belt ends up either going into a tournament or they get rid of it. You know, so like,
Or they unify them.
It
Right,
seems
right, that's
like
what I'm
it would
saying.
be, yeah, reunifying would be getting rid of it. And it seems like that would be something. It would be bad for them to do it, but also,
Yeah.
if you think about it, they can fight for the Knockouts Championship. They can fight for the
Fair.
Intercontinental.
By the
women-
way, I'm sorry for all these questions.
What's
oh, you're
up?
good, bro.
That's all good.
I feel like the North American title elevated Kalani Jordan. I feel like it elevated Fallon Henley.
It
And I
doesn't
feel like
elevate
now-
Stephanie McCare.
Yeah,
Because
it doesn't do anything for her.
Well,
I
that's
feel like-
why I felt weird about her even being in that match, let alone winning.
Yeah,
I thought
for
that
sure.
would be like a messed up finish because Stephanie McCare screams main champion.
Right,
She
right. So
screams
I need to get something on her belt.
they're just using it as a reason for them to wrestle each other. You know, they're like, oh, dual champs, let's
Yeah.
go at it. You know, whereas they could have done something like Izzy Dame or
Cora Jade.
freaking Ren could have won it. You know,
You should've
give it
gave
to somebody
Cora
else.
Jade.
Yeah, Cora Jade. Yeah, because she needs something. You know, like
Poor
Or,
Jade is dope.
She's
Carmen.
fighting Masha.
yeah, she is fighting Masha.
Oh, snaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
For
looked
sure.
good on TNA, dude. They've been doing a good job with Cora over there.
She looks good no matter what she does.
Well,
And that's
fair.
not even talking about like her physically, but let's be honest,
Yeah.
like she's
Yeah.
by it.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of bad ladies with titles, we had new tag champions crowned,
Oh,
and I didn't know how I felt about it, but I feel like it's only going to be leading to a little bit more dissension and maybe some three-way dance black girl magic at WrestleMania. And Lord knows
I'll
Naomi
talk about-
melted in
Naomi
heaven.
need the
I'll be
belts.
melted.
You talk
So,
about
yeah, I think-
Bianca,
I'll be a
Naomi,
puddle.
and Jade.
I'll be like SpongeBob. I'll be a puddle.
Hey,
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think that like that match was really, really good, and I think that I'm hoping that since she's had a couple of good matches, people can warm up to Raquel a little bit. I thought she did awesome in that match, and the fact that it was basically a clean pin for heels was
That's
was
crazy.
crazy. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, there was some shenanigans, but it wasn't anything like outrageous. You know.
I'm 2 weeks behind, but I'm trying to catch up before the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
So I
Raquel
don't
and
know,
Liv won the
I
tag
don't know
belts.
everything, but I knew that Liv and Raquel won the tag belts.
Good match, dude.
It was a good
Oh,
match.
great. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was really good.
It was really dramatic at the end. Like the
Yep.
last 5 was really
Dramatic,
For-
physical. The girls were where they were supposed to be to get everything done. Like I thought they did awesome.
Girls,
and
girls
girl
or
dirty
guys,
ass.
heels. Whether it don't matter if it's girls or guys, heels going over clean doesn't happen very often. I wouldn't think.
I mean, it was a pin in the middle of the ring with no like real interference because the person who interfered was Liv's partner. Like I can't even remember exactly what Raquel did, but she did some
Oh no,
shady.
she
something
I think
shady.
she held Naomi and then
Right, she held her
Oh,
foot.
the
Yeah.
post, like boom.
So what?
And then
Oh,
she
right,
saw
and then
that-
hit her
That's not
neck.
really
Right, and
interfering,
then,
though. That's just
Right.
like holding somebody
well,
so they can't.
Naomi went to do that leapfrog thing that she does, and
Yeah.
Liv moved out of the way, and Raquel grabbed her head and slammed it into the top of the ring post.
Ping.
So,
and then
but that's not really cheating. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
so.
Let
Yeah,
clean up the scratch.
But I feel
Yeah.
like all of this is one, it's making up for the fact that they don't really know what to do with Liv anymore.
yeah. Now that she's not champ. Yeah,
Yeah, and also I think that they
I don't
needed to
know.
get the belts off of Naomi. They need to get the belts off of Naomi and Bianca because they're going to be in the chamber together.
Yeah.
Put respect on Raquel.
Yeah.
She got the most tag team rings. She got
Yeah.
like 2 with Dakota and like 3 with Liv, and 1 with Aaliyah for some reason. I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
got like 6 of them.
The
So
tag
shout out-
team.
Well,
She
you
the
talking
king.
about
She's
tag
the
titles,
king
David?
of the tag division.
Yeah, she's a 6-time tag team.
That's what I'm saying. I remember that shit.
She a
So,
6-time? I thought it was like
She's a 6-time, and Liv and her on their own are 3-time.
Yeah.
So they hold the record for women's tag team title reigns as a team, and Raquel holds them as an individual.
Yeah. Oh,
Good job.
She's pretty much the Big Show of. Well,
I'll say
Big Show,
Shane, but
Big Show has been tag champions with whoever the heck.
I'll say
Yeah.
Shane.
yeah, Jarrett show.
Yeah,
Jarrett.
Jarrett. They were double champions.
Yeah.
But
Kane and Van Dam.
Kane and Van Dam, Kane and Hurricane.
Kane and Hurricane.
Kane and Daniel Bryan.
Right. It was funny because Hurricane was like,
Kane
we're
and
both
Big Show.
heroes.
We
We're
both
both
do
heroes.
chokeslam.
And Kane was like, you're not a hero, you're a freak. Like, that was wild, dude.
That was crazy. I remember that.
He's like, you're not a superhero. I like you because you're a freak, just like me.
That
That was dope.
I have to laugh at how goofy that laugh was.
Yeah, that time, you know. On YouTube. Awesome, buddy. Okay, well, Daddy's still doing the podcast, bud. Sorry, my son is very excited about watching Sonic on YouTube.
Hi, Casey.
Does anybody know what exact day they're going to be having a roadblock?
I
I
don't
forgot
The
the
11th.
March 11th? Yeah.
Yeah, the 11th.
We'll
Yeah,
talk
March
about
11th.
that, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
They got another week.
it's looking like a real good card.
10 days.
Say the
You
only
know what
other
day
thing I
it's
wanted
on?
to mention that I thought was interesting is that kayfabe, or because I think the tattoo wasn't real anyway, but MJF had his AEW tattoo removed,
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
which is petty, but it's showing that his whole gimmick is that he's too good for where he is.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, he really is.
Bougie. He's bougie.
But he's
He
really
really
not.
You mean
Alright,
the guy
fellas.
that wears a Gucci scarf out with
Right.
Gucci trunks?
He's bougie.
No way.
I
he's
mean,
Gucci.
honestly, in my opinion, MJF is kind of like the Brock Lesnar of AEW because that's how much he
Oh.
wrestles.
Ooh, that's a hot take. Host.
Hot takes are hot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because he had a
That's
a
true.
match
That's true,
with
though.
Dustin Rhodes not too long ago, and
I mean, he wrestles like
seldomly.
except when he was with Cole, he wrestles like once every 3 or 4 months if you're lucky.
He wrestles
That's
more
true.
than Britt Baker.
That's true.
Well,
He
Britt Baker used to wrestle all the time, but now obviously she's gone or she's going to be gone, so she's not going to be on TV, right?
Don-
Fellas, I gotta go. No longer coaching, but I'm going to cheer on my son. Tournament starts today, so
Snap.
hopefully we win the game, get the second round. Playoff time, baby.
are
But
you going to be on? Just to ask, are you going to be on? You're doing the live stream, right?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll be doing the live stream.
Then I'd say we can talk about our predictions, and then you obviously are going to be doing a live stream, so you can talk about your
Yeah.
predictions.
Yeah. Roxanne's winning, ladies. That's what I got for right now.
Okay.
All right, guys. I'll
All
talk
right.
to y'all later.
All
All
right.
right, peace.
All right,
Good
later.
luck, Case.
Get a double.
Casey,
All right.
Wait,
and
Give
that's
me
us.
10 and 10.
So what I want to ask is that between us, I want to talk about what we think is going to happen tonight. You know, I was going to talk about potentially our favorites, but I feel like there's only been so many elimination chambers. We can talk about that during the live stream.
Live stream.
At some point, I'm hopefully gonna jump in on the live stream a little bit. I still got to figure out where I'm going to watch it because where I wanted to go might be showing the Gervonta Davis fight instead, which I'm really, really upset that I might miss.
Yeah, I heard about that fight. I don't watch very
Yeah.
much, but my son loves that stuff.
Hey, he rapping
Gervonta is going to be young. Shout out.
my city.
Dude,
Man.
I swear to God, on the way up to the,
Nice.
on the way down to the Royal Rumble, and on the way back, all my kid and his friends did was talk about the fights and whatnot.
No, he's ducking Shakur. Yeah. You're right. He is ducking Shakur Stevenson. And that's okay. That is okay. You know, because you can't duck him forever.
It's gonna happen eventually.
Just like Bivol and Benavidez. So I'm going to go over the few matches and then we can talk a little bit, you know, see what we have.
All right.
But also, not only do I want to talk about who we think is going to win, but I want to ask who is going to be facing each other in WrestleMania, because it seems like a lot of this card is just setting up WrestleMania's
I
card,
agree.
because WrestleMania is still up in the air.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
both of these Elimination Chamber matches, it looks like 3 or 4 matches out of each are going to be either night 1 or night 2. Which I think is a little bit lazy writing, because you're kind of making this the focal point instead of having like the long term, like how the Bloodline has had their long term booking and all of that, but they seem to be an afterthought because Cody's not even fighting anybody from the Bloodline at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of weird, but
It's
yes,
been a weird
let's,
turn. It went a weird turn.
let's speak in order. I'm going to go over it, and then let's talk about who we think is going to win, and then if it's going to have any implications on the future matches. So, the first one is the 2 blonde bombshells, Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus, the TSs. TS squared against Nia and Little Helper.
That's kind of a dope name, dude. I like that name. T squared.
TS squared. I think it might be a thing.
Yeah, TS squared.
It might be. I imagine it's going to only be a one-off, but I obviously look at that picture. I feel like that's something we need more of.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Way more.
I need more of Trish's snatched waistline.
Yes, both of them.
All right, so
Double screen.
since you're on the top screen right now, Chad, who do you think is going to win this match between the 2 teams of ladies?
TS squared.
TS squared. All right. I imagine who Tiffany or Trish gets the pin.
I believe Tiffany is gonna pin Nia.
That would be good. I think that would be good.
I think that would be dope.
And I feel like this match specifically doesn't have any implications with WrestleMania, because Charlotte Flair is fighting Tiffany.
Yeah.
And then Nia, I have no idea what Nia is going to be doing.
I also think that if you even though you might be correct that it's only going to be a one-off, and it's not going to matter, but I also think that even if they lose, if TS squared loses, it's going to make Tiff look weak going into Mania.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it can't happen. Like Tiffy needs the momentum, especially going against the woman goat at this point.
Exactly.
D-Lo, what are your thoughts on this firecracker match?
I got the same team winning as Chad, TS squared, but the opposite. Trish, for the hometown, gets the pin on Candace.
I forgot about that, D-Lo.
Yeah, so the hometown, she gets the pin on Candace. I
forgot about that.
And then it sets up a delicious one. Trish Mania versus Nia Jax.
Ooh. Trish against whoa.
Talking about a hot take, bro.
It is, but Chad, you are right though.
They teased it a little bit.
I was gonna say, Chad, you are right. Even though Trish is the hometown girl, I still think that Tiffy has to win.
I can see that too, definitely.
You know, her getting.
I mean, I don't care who wins. I mean, I don't care who gets the pin, but I think Tiffany needs to win because she's the champ, and you can't have her go in against Charlotte, regardless of how much I don't like her, losing at the last PLE.
Yeah, you can't have her
She's
going.
champ.
Right.
Yeah, I'm I agree with both of y'all. Personally, I think because it's the hometown, there's a big chance that Tiffy just gives Trish Stratus the win. But
Yep.
personally, I feel like the PME on Nia Jax looks too good to not have that be the end. So TS squared wins. Tiffany Stratton gets the prettiest moonsault salt ever on Nia Jax. Candice LeRae takes most of the offense. Stratisfaction on her out of the ring. You
Yep.
know, all that stuff. Then maybe leading to Nia Jax and Candice LeRae against Liv and Raquel. And then Trish could, celebrate her 25th anniversary, just doing her thing. She finally gets her kids can get to see her wrestle again.
Yep.
That'll
And
be
win
like-
and win a match.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That'll be her
that'd
little
be-
bucket list thing where she can finally say that she was at the Rogers Center and
I mean, that was kind of like the Goldberg thing when Goldberg won, and his kid, he brought his kid out into the ring and whatnot, kind of like Ray used to do with Dominic many years ago.
that's funny considering Dominic's still in the ring.
Exactly.
I would not like you saying that right now.
All right, speaking of hometown home team advantage, we have probably the most anticipated match of the year. I actually don't know if there's a bigger match on this card, considering what the implications are. So the one I'm talking about is the unsanctioned match against the best friends turned enemies multiple times over, just many times over. Best friends, worst enemies, best friends, worst enemies. But this time it seems like it's going to be for all the marbles. So Sami Zayn against Kevin Owens, unsanctioned match. Anything goes. So many things can happen. I imagine they're going to have as much fun as possible. This is something that they've probably dreamed of doing. Selling out Rogers Arena and all of that, and Rogers Center, and being able to like throw each other off of stuff. What were you gonna say, Chad?
I said I'm sorry, but isn't Owens and Zayn getting kind of old? They've been wrestling each other going back 10, 12 years back to NXT, and then when
back to PWG, back to all of that stuff.
I meant under WWE.
Oh no, I know, I agree with you. Like the big thing Kevin Owens turned against. That's crazy. Turned against Sami Zayn and like apron power bombed him and like ended up facing him and getting the TKO win. I just feel like the reason why they're doing it now and the reason why it's unsanctioned is to make it seem like it's a first ever, like it's not just a rinse and repeat. Then again, if we get DIY breaking up, it'll be like the third time they've broken up too.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying
this one matters.
I would think that people were getting tired of seeing Owens and Zayn, not much like they get tired of seeing Johnny Wrestling and Ciampa.
No, I am too. Like I agree 100%. I'm sick of Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, but I like the take that they're doing on this is it's in Rogers Center, the biggest place you can do it in Canada, in Toronto and all of that. And it being unsanctioned, I feel like this has to be the culmination, as in like it's the last time they'll ever face each other. And which almost seems silly considering that if they're both under the WWE umbrella for the rest of their careers, at some point they're going to fight against each other or with each other again, right?
Yeah.
But, the implications being that one of them might die is pretty much what they've been talking about. They're like, okay, like if I break this guy's neck, there's nothing you can do against me. If I throw him off the bleachers, off the top freaking the nosebleed seats, right over the outfield. Like you can't do anything about it. But D'Lo, you first, I would say. Who do you think between the battle of the besties, who do you think wins and comes out of this alive? And then what happens after?
Mm. I was leaning towards Kevin Owens, low key, but a little bit of explanation and thinking. I think it's gonna be Sami Zayn that ekes it out slightly by the skin of his
Uh,
teeth.
like the way Johnny and or Tommaso, last man standing, were pretty much they were both decimated, but like
Yeah.
he
Like it's a damn mess. The ring's a
Yeah.
mess. It's
Mhm.
chaos. It's suity. They run all over the place. They run all through the building. It's gonna be like chaos. So
Well, they have to. That's the thing about it, is that
they gonna chaos.
being that they're
Yeah.
home and both of them, you know, they both want to win.
Take
I
me to the
imagine
back
they're
end.
going to come out with like they're going to open their bag and come up with as many crazy spots, as many wild things, you know, package pile drivers, power bombs onto ladders, power bombs onto tables, power bombs off of ladders onto tables. Anything you can think of, blue thunder bomb
Anything
onto
you can think of will happen.
as much possible. Like Kevin throws a fan at Sami Zayn, like
Kevin
powerbomb
splashes
onto his
Sammy.
wife, like it just
Kevin
whatever
splashes
can
Sammy
happen.
off the railing in the crowd or some shit.
Oh, there's gonna be so many. There's so many different things. So you say D, say Sammy, Chad. Who are you thinking is going to win this?
I kind of agree with D'Lo.
Mhm.
My my brain says Kevin,
Right.
but my
Well, your
heart
brain is
says,
the only thing that can say anything if we're thinking about it.
well, yeah. I mean, if you want to be,
Unless you mean your heart says you want to go somewhere else.
yeah,
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
my heart says Zayn squeaks shit out. Much like D'Lo said with the Ciampa and the Johnny wrestling match,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's gonna be chaos. I mean, you might see Sammy throwing Kevin off a balcony or vice versa. You know, doing a power bomb off the stage or
It would
something.
matter the way the Rogers Center looks. Like I would have to see the setup in Rogers Center.
Yeah,
They show a little
See
bit of it.
exactly what. Like, you know, it's a dome as well. So like they could go
yeah.
up in the
Yo, go in
rafters.
the whole. If they can go in the hotel rooms, in that hotel in Center Fields,
That's the funny thing. Yeah.
they
I
can
remember
go in there.
my father actually has been to he went to opening day one year when the Yankees were facing Blue Jays and they were in there.
Did
Imagine
we
you
beat
could
them?
see them because it's like see-through. So you could
Right.
see them field. So imagine like them just running through all the
All the
Yeah.
hotel rooms in there.
Yo,
That would
did
be
we
for
beat them?
Yeah,
Did the
I
yeah,
Yankees
believe, I
it
beat the
is
believe
Blue
Center
Jays that
Field.
game?
I believe the Yankees won that one.
Nice.
And I went to the first ever home run derby in Rogers Center. Actually,
Oh,
when I was
nice.
Damn,
Nice.
that's
2 years old, I think. That was
I actually saw off topic. I actually saw one of the games I went to when I was a kid at Yankees Classic. Yes, the other day, Dave Rigetti's no hitter in '83.
oh, that is a good one.
I was actually at that game and I was only like 11.
that's
I was not alive, but I've seen that replay many a time.
Yeah.
Look,
I got this Yankee fest. Yeah, okay, ugly at
Check you out. Me and Dave was talking about this the other day.
it.
Camden Yard stuff up over there.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
Hey, even though the
All right.
Orioles are looking good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Speaking of
I
looking,
lost Tony. It's all good.
I have a feeling that this is. I'll give my take on this, and I believe that it's going to be probably it's going to make the Cody Kevin match look like a bra and panties match, like just
Yeah.
fluffy. Make it look like a pillow fight. I think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, if they're not covered, if they're not wearing the crimson mask in the first 5 minutes, I'm shocked. Like
Yeah.
I have a feeling that we're gonna see so many. I think Kevin Owens might he might apron powerbomb Sammy 3 times in a row. We might
Yep.
see
Got
3
it.
haluva kicks in a row.
You might
On a-
see them going through that wall on the stage too.
That would be really cool. Maybe some back
Mm.
behind the scenes action in the crowd stuff. You know,
Right.
everybody's gonna steal is the reason why KO loses.
I agree.
Ooh,
I think KO
that's all of it.
KO and
think-
Randy Orton is going to be WrestleMania.
I think we're
I
gonna
can see
see
that.
1 or 2 RKOs from Randy to Kevin, and that might, like you said, that will be the reason why KO loses the RKO.
I think it'd be a good way to reintroduce Randy, considering that KO is the one that put him on the shelf, and
Yep.
it's a
Right.
it's full circle. I think it only makes sense for you to reincorporate Randy into the beef and give him a WrestleMania match that he deserves, which it
And
would
he
be a
should win.
match. Him and Kevin would be a great match.
Yep.
Yeah, I would look forward to that.
They both can go.
Yes, exactly, and they both can go, and both of them are getting up there in age, and I feel like
Right.
they need to get that
No doubt.
away against each other. Oh, hurt. Okay. All right. So let's just talk about the last 2 chamber matches, and then we'll sign off. So women's match: Bianca, Alexa, Naomi, Liv, Bailey, Roxanne. Who do you got, D-Lo?
Going with the EST. Going her.
Ooh.
Going that for the W.
All right. EST. No shenanigans from Naomi.
They gonna interact a little, but it help each other out. They maybe ask.
I agree. So Bianca against Rhea is the match.
I want to see that.
So that's mine, and then I think Jade comes and attacks Naomi. She breaks through the chamber and like goes in and like throws Naomi out because Naomi's the one that did it. So that's what I said. D'Lo said the same thing. Keith, I'm sorry, I said Keith. Chad, who do you think is going to win?
Roxanne.
All right, so we got 2 for Roxanne. Keith said Roxanne as well, and if you know Keith's gimmick, he's wrong. So it'll be
Maybe I should pick somebody else then if Keith is always wrong.
No, go with it, because you don't want to go against him and then finally it's right?
Yeah.
It would be cool if it was Roxanne, but I think it just makes sense for Bianca against Rhea because they are the 2 powerhouses.
Yeah.
And the men's one, which is a toss-up to me, but I'm going to go with the exact same person I thought was going to win the Rumble. I think is going to win the Elimination Chamber. And it's CM Punk.
Ooh.
I think he needs to win this. The reason why he came back was for the main event of WrestleMania. There's no other reason why he's here. He said it time and time again. He's like, I'm here for the main event of WrestleMania. It's literally the reason why I left, because they wouldn't give it to me, and they gave it to Rock versus Cena. And over his dead body is Cena or The Rock going to be in the main event. And funny enough, it might be all 4 of them in the main event in my head. So I have Punk CM, Chick Magnet Punk winning. Chad, who do you have winning this one? Between Cena, Punk, Rollins, Drew, Jake, it says Jake Paul, hello? Logan Paul, and I'm reading CBS Sports and it says Jake Paul.
They got their paws mixed up.
They got their Pauls mixed up. I was like, well, as a Paul, I'm offended. So who do you got? Who do you got, Chad?
I'm kind of conflicted on this one. Because I've heard different things, but I'm gonna go CM Punk as well.
You probably heard John Cena as well, or something like that, right?
Well, I heard John Cena was gonna win, and then the match against Cody is gonna be a 3-way, and Punk's gonna be in it somehow. So I heard it was gonna be Cody, Cena, and Punk.
I thought it was Cody, The Rock, and Punk. to be honest. But I have a feeling it might be all four of them because they'll force their ways into it or something. You know, just politics stuff.
Well, The Rock can force his way anywhere.
Because remember, John
Yeah.
Cena, the reason why he's in the Elimination Chamber is because he said best for business. And
Yeah.
that saying has come up so many times when
Yeah.
it comes
Right.
to literally like shoehorning people into matches, right?
Yeah.
D'Lo, who do you think? Who do you think has it?
I'm saying, Chad, I was gonna say about this too. Like, I'm in between two.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with Drew, and I feel like
Drew.
it's going
He
to.
deserves it, but I think him and Priest are going to be the thing that comes up
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
yesterday
Wow.
that whole
I think him and Priest are going to come out of it, and from what I understand, Drew got pissed off because he thinks he deserves a higher spot in Mania, but they were just going to give him and Priest.
But he does, if we're being honest, Drew does deserve it because he went from being, being on the losing end, even though he won last year, being on the losing end and losing his title, and then, being literally the best run of his career this year, even better than the run during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we got that out of the way.
So,
I would like to say that is our podcast for today. Check us out in a few hours. We're going to be going live. Keith is going to be going live with y'all. The Wild Man talking about wrestling and Elimination Chamber. He's going to go, I believe, from the pre-show all the way to the end. At some point, I'm hoping that I can make a cameo. Hope all of y'all at some point can.
I'll be there at some point,
but not in the
Check us
pre.
out on Spotify. I hear that. Check us out on YouTube. We have shorts. We have longs. We have a lot of content, and like we've been saying all year, this is the best time to be a wrestling fan. And Lord knows, do your due diligence. Look us up. Shout out to the guys that are a part of our group that aren't here right now. For the aforementioned Bostonian Johnny, Keith the Wildman Miller, Brent Nightmare Ward, who's not here right now, he's working hard, David D'Lo Logan, Chad Big Ton Vandermark, Timothy himself, Pablo Aquino. We love y'all, and we love giving you guys the news, and we will be with you in a little bit, and otherwise, check us out next week. We'll be talking about the results. We'll be previewing Roadblock and talking about everything else that's happened in the news. Otherwise,
peace out.
Peace
Peace out.
Good to see y'all. Be in contact. Skibbity Wrestling.